I said I'd be posting Babybat Diaries every Friday, but I got really, really bored, and I wanted to make them, so now instead of having like a specific schedule, instead of having a specific schedule, I'm going to just be doing them whenever I can, which should be pretty frequently. Maybe 1 or 2 a week until I can kind of get into a rhythm, you know, where I say, oh, I normally have time on Thursdays, or I normally have time on Fridays to do it, if I'm just inspired one day to do something. That's what I'm going to be doing. I'm also going to be supplementing it with other little videos, maybe vlogs or something, book reviews, clothing reviews, hauls, I guess, because I just went to the fabric store. I might vlog about my sewing. I'm going to be sewing a dress that looks like Wednesday Addams, and I'm really excited about that. But entry 2 of the Babybat Diaries, because you know it's like a diary. Anyways, so today I'm going to be talking about coming out of the coffin. Coming out of the coffin is very much like what it sounds like. It's when you tell your parent, guardian, significant other, whoever might care, your friends, that you are in fact a goth. Now, with your friends, if you're like me, my friends kind of just noticed and was like, oh, okay. Some people were kind of like, wow, how about we just don't? And we're like, and kind of, we drifted a little bit, but that's not a problem. I still talk to people who I was like more friends with a while ago than I'm not as much. It's complicated. But I did come out of the coffin to my parents in a really weird way, so I'm going to share that little story. I was 12 when I first realized that I really wanted to start dressing in a gothic fashion, and that it was really inspiring to me and like my artwork and stuff. So I did a lot of research online first, which is a really big thing, and I found this website called Gothic Charm School, and if you guys don't know what that is, it's a website that ties in with the book, and this woman in Seattle, I believe it's Seattle, it's either Seattle, Portland, somewhere in the northeast, or excuse me, northwest, I don't know my directions, northwest, I believe it's Seattle because it rains a lot all the time, but I really don't know. Okay, anyways, Jillian Venters is a woman, and she wrote a book called Gothic Charm School, The Guides to Goths and Those Who Love Them, and it's about being kind and having manners, and it's beautiful, and I love it. It was a great book. I shared it with a couple of my friends, and they were like, oh, this is so cool, she's so witty and so funny. If you haven't read it, I totally recommend it. If you don't want to spend money, there's always her website, which is equally as fun, and then there's 4 videos on YouTube, and I can link them down below, and it is just great. I think she's awesome. I started with her, and then I realized, you know, oh, all these little markers are what I am, and that's me, and I really want to take my fashion and my lifestyle to this next level, and while it might be a little bit more expensive, I'm willing to, you know, work hard and do what I can to indulge my creepy lifestyle. My parents took it really well. I didn't necessarily sit down and talk to them. Me being the awkward 12-year-old I was, who couldn't talk to people, not that I still can, because I still find confrontation horrible. I sent my mom an email, and she's like, okay, and I'm sure, of course, at the time, it was like the biggest email. I think it was like, dear mom, here's some links. I think I'm a goth, as in, like, I think I have cancer or something. Like all these horror, like I found all these links, and like, goths aren't evil, all these YouTube videos, and she watched them. She watched some of them with me, but I think it was a little bit over the top because my parents are both really cool. They used to be in a rock band together in high school, so they already kind of understood the alternative. They had some goth friends, I believe, in high school, and one of them went on to be an art professor at a local university, and so they played D&D, they went to Renaissance festivals, so they kind of knew where I was coming from. They raised me on classic rock. I mean, I've been listening to Journey and like Led Zeppelin since I was little, like really little. I always had these elaborate costumes. Halloween was always this big event with my family, so they were really, really cool about it. They weren't necessarily, I mean, still right now, there are some things I would like to do, as in like shave half my head, but they're like, how about no? And I can understand where they're coming from, and I respect that because they let me do basically whatever I want. okay, that sounds a little bit, oh my god, apparently I do whatever I want. That's, okay, I mean, there are obviously limits. I can't have, like, raging parties, but not that I would really want to, but I feel that because I talked to them and I talked to my parents a lot, they're a little bit more understanding, and we relate better, and it's a really great, I have a really great connection with my parents, and I love them both very much. So, that was my coming out story. I sent my mom an email, and then she forwarded it to my dad, and that was basically the end of it, and I started transforming my wardrobe into all black. Yay! So, I'm going to kind of outline what I think I probably should have done, or something I could have done better, and some advice for people who are a little bit hesitant to come out of the coffin. It is a scary thing to do, and it's worth it though. I think it's like self-reawakening almost. You're awakening your ancient gothic soul, and it's wonderful, and I love it. And it's just when people are like, oh yeah, I'm a goth, and I just realized that, and I'm just like, yeah, I know, you've not just realized it, maybe, but if you look back through your life, you've always kind of had that little seed. I think all of us alternative kids have always had like that little seed inside of us, or like alternative people have had that little seed of like this creepy little darkness, and then it just blooms into this black rose, and it's gorgeous and wonderful. So who should be involved? Definitely you. That is the one person who matters in this. Now, who you tell, that is completely up to you. What I like about goth is that the gothic subculture is that it is so free, it's free-forming, and it's always moving, like these inky shadows of beautiful things. Wow, what am I even saying? Okay, I sound like I'm on drugs, but I'm not, I promise. Okay, well, no, I'm just kidding. So, definitely you. You obviously need to be involved. It is about you. This is about your choices and your lifestyle. No one can take your self-identity away from you. Okay? That's one thing I need to get clear. They might try and be like, oh, is this something you really want to do? Stick to your guns. Because this is something that's going to make you happy. And even if it's just for a little bit, you indulge that side of you, and it's wonderful. You can be like, okay, maybe once you indulge it, this isn't right for me. So that's why I'm saying not to jump into it as fast. Don't shave half your head and throw out all your clothes. Do it slowly. But the one person who should, I'm sorry, I'm getting all off track, but the one person who should be involved is you. Now, there are different ways to approach this. I mean, you can have your parent, definitely if you're a minor, or you're still living with your parents, and you feel it is necessary, like, to talk to them and get their approval, if you have, like, super protective parents, I would go about this slightly. Definitely, I think you can kind of already start your transformation a little bit by, reading darker literature, or starting to buy, when you go clothes shopping, buy darker hued clothes. And they'll probably start to notice, be like, hey, what's up? What's going on? And you obviously, you need to talk to your parents or your guardian, whoever you are currently living with, whether that be your parent, guardian, spouse. I don't really know. Like, if I know I sound really ignorant, and I'm really sorry if there's just someone, or like your partner, talk to them. They're going to want to talk to you, so you can't just shut yourself away and just be creepy in your little black cave of darkness, which, I mean, while we all have wanted to do so, it is best to talk to people. I'm sure my hair looks lovely now, right? So it is definitely important for you to talk to your parents or your spouse, partner, whoever is in your life. Your friends, this is something I didn't really come out per se to my friends. They kind of realized and started like joking around. They're like, oh, Becca, why are you so goth? And I kind of looked at them like, and said, it's just who I am, deal with it. And they're like, okay, not deal with it, but like, I was like, it's just who I am. They're like, oh, okay, that's cool. And if they didn't like it, they didn't talk to me. And if they didn't particularly care, they still talked to me, which is awesome. And okay, so when is key to your coming out of the coffin, because you don't want to be like a vampire and explode into 1,000 pieces if you come out of your coffin at the wrong time, i.e. into the sunlight. When you want to come out of the coffin, when it is most convenient for everyone around you. Now, if your family is already going through this horribly rough time, you know, financially, emotionally, physically, if there's some type of like debilitating health thing right now that is really important, or something, just something other than, you know, your alternative lifestyle that, you know, takes a little bit more precedence, just give it a rest for a little bit, kind of suppress it until the storm is over and you're already kind of in a lull. Then you can kind of bring it into the possibility that, hey, mom and dad / significant other / whatever, I'm a goth, I live by the gothic subculture, here's some links. Alright, so that leads me into what you should do to prepare to come out of the coffin. Now, I'm not saying that you need to buy every single book on goth ever, or listen to every single goth band ever, because, oh my gosh, if you don't, you're not a goth. You have to listen to every single, and if you want to, I'm not saying you can't. If you want to, if you really want to, I mean, go for it, man, like, more power to you. You are fantastic. But you just need to do your research on the gothic subculture beforehand, and obviously you probably will be, you know, looking at the fashion and stuff, and kind of cultivating what your idea of goth is. And that is a really solid thing to have before you actually come out of the coffin. So, make sure you do your research right before. You should come out of the coffin. Why should you come out of the coffin? I think it's a freeing experience. Now, why you could have a completely different reason than I have about coming out of the coffin, and then that's cool. If you want to do it because, why the hell not? The rest of your family is, so you know what, I'm just gonna, you know, come out of the coffin as being a goth too, because what the hell, my siblings are, you know, whatever. No, the flip side, why you shouldn't come out is if your situation is very dangerous. If you have, you know, very strict religious or cultural identity things, or something is like, I think if it's safe to do it by all means. If it is safe emotionally, if it's safe physically, if it's safe spiritually, I don't know. I think you should definitely do it. How should you do it? Definitely, there are different ways to approach this. I would come up with a list of reasons why you should be able to do things, such as, you know, getting good grades, doing all this other stuff. I think that you should come out. There are tons of different ways to do this. I came up with an email with links in it, because I'm awkward and can't talk to people. If you enjoy talking to people, then by all means, sit down with your parents or significant others or friends or whatever and talk to them. And, you know, say, hey, this is what I'm doing, like it or not, what do you think, is it okay, you know, whatever, this is who I am, this is my identity, goths are not evil, we are not going to kill people. That's going to be a whole incredibly different video next time I do this. And yeah. Ta-da! I don't really know. I mean, I guess I just came out of the coffin in such a weird way that I don't really have like tons of other ways to do it, because I'm so incredibly like, don't talk to people, they're gonna be weird and not like you. People are scary. That I just don't know any other way to talk to people. I don't know, I'm just really weird. So, yeah. Stay tuned. That's kind of the end. I don't really know. If you have any more questions, definitely leave it below or send me a personal message. I will always respond to anything, comments or messages. I totally want to hear back from you guys. Subscribe. I have a channel featured, and it is one of my friends, so check her out. She's really funny, and she's a close friend of mine. She's a close friend of mine. She's in the featured channels below. Hysterical. Show her love. If I hear any negative comments, I will be incredibly angry and probably do another rant. So if you want me to rant, just send me something to rant about, but don't purposely make me rant about you guys being assholes to one of my friends. So, thank you for all of my 115 subscribers. I love you all.